Hello, my freshmen, and welcome to our last lesson video of the semester. Little bit of a change of plans from what we were talking about last week about how this week would go. My little baby boy was not born over the weekend, so I realized that I have to be ready to miss a couple of days of school this week if that happens during the school week. I had to set up today's lesson in such a way that sets us all up for success with that. So you may notice that I'm not splitting this week into multiple lessons. It just says finals week lesson, May 24th, that is today, through May 26th, that would be Wednesday. We'll talk a little bit about how this week will go as we walk through today's lesson. Notice here as well, I did put last week's lesson folder just right below our finals week lesson. So if you need to go back through what we talked about last week, that is there for you. Let's start with a little devotion today, and then we'll look at our lesson agenda for this week. In Matthew 6:34, part of the Sermon on the Mount, Jesus does some teaching about worry, and I think this is just a really valuable thing for us to talk about this week because it's easy for us to worry. It's easy for me to worry. I know it's easy for students to worry with a limited number of days of school left. But listen to what Jesus teaches in Matthew 6:34. He says, "Therefore, do not be anxious about tomorrow, for tomorrow will be anxious for itself. Sufficient for the day is its own trouble." It's that last sentence especially. Sufficient for the day is its own trouble. Enough for the day is its own trouble. That really sticks out to me today. You might be feeling like I do today. You might feel like you have this gigantic to-do list to do by the end of this week, between all of your classes and stuff at home, and maybe you're an athlete and you've got some games this week, or a track meet this week, or something like that. And in the midst of that, we can feel so bogged down by the sheer amount of things to do that it just cripples us. And I think Jesus reminds us here, sufficient for the day is its own trouble, is that we can only handle what we can handle. And when we've got that massive to-do list, maybe the best thing to do is just to take it one step at a time, knowing that He stands by us in the midst of it. I know that's what I'm challenging myself to do today, especially with the possibility that my wife could go into labor at any time. I just have to take things one step at a time, and knowing that if I put my best foot forward in all of those steps, God will be faithful to me, and that He is truly working all these things for my good. It's the same for you. I'm not gonna pretend like applied English is your only class and that you can focus on that all the time. I know you guys have other things on your plates. Maybe some of you have a lot to catch up for, or a lot to catch up on in a lot of classes. Sufficient for the day is its own trouble. Take things one step at a time, and just communicate with me along the way. If you know you need to put off something for applied English for another day, let me know so I can try to adjust for that as best as possible. You might be taking things one step at a time for a couple of days in a row right here, and you might feel like you don't have a whole lot of personal time or free time in between. But by taking things one step at a time, taking small bites until you're done, I think you'll find yourself a lot more successful and a lot more at peace at the end of this semester. That's my prayer for you and for me today, that we can trust Jesus with the sheer size of our to-do lists today, maybe for this entire week, and that we can put our best foot forward, not allowing our worries, our anxieties to cripple us, but allowing us to do our best in all the little things that we do until this semester is over at the end of the week. All right, so let's take a look at our lesson agenda now. Make sure that you are set up for success this week. Whether you're watching this on Monday or watching this in class, say on Tuesday, but I want to make sure that you have what you need to be successful this week. You may notice I have moved our final writing activity, at least our virtual copy of it, into our lesson folder for this week. If you're in my virtual class, you have to complete yours this way. If you're in my in-person class, this is just an option for you. You can continue to work on this on paper and turn it in on paper if you choose. You'll notice there's also an extra credit opportunity right here for presenting your final writing activity. We'll take a look at that in just a moment here. Let's take a look at our agenda. So same objective as we've been working with these past couple of weeks. Students will be able to reflect critically on their own learning. That's really all I care about as we finish off this week, is I want to hear from you what you learned this semester that will help you to set yourself up for next year, just knowing what you've learned this year and how you're going to build on that in English 1. Right now, you're watching our finals week checklist video. We'll actually walk through that checklist together in just a moment. It does say by the end of this Wednesday, I do want you to complete your final writing activity. You do still have till the end of Friday to complete missing assignments. If you're revising your Black History essay or working on extra credit, you do have till the end of Friday for that. But I would love for that final writing activity to be in by the end of Wednesday so I can get grading on that too. And obviously, upcoming for us is summer vacation. This is our last week of school for this semester. I'm hoping that you get a nice full summer vacation and that we can avoid summer school for you by finishing off this week strong. Let's take a look at the checklist to see how I can help you with that. All right, finals week devotional and checklist. Now, we've just watched the devotional. Our checklist is below our video, so just want to walk you through that step by step. I want to note that these are just the things you'll want to make sure are done by the end of this week in order of importance. I would definitely follow these one by one right here to make sure that you are finishing the semester strong. For one, have you completed your final writing activity and submitted it on Schoology or on paper if you're an in-person learner? That is the most important thing we're working on this week, and it does have a pretty big weight on your final grade in this class. To get a 0 on it would be pretty harmful in the grade book for you, so I want to make sure that is in. We should note as well, we'll talk about our extra credit opportunity with that at the end of this video too. Have you completed any quizzes or tests labeled as missing? Please note that in your Schoology gradebook, you'll know that something is missing if there's an orange hexagon by it. The reason why I would place quizzes and tests second on this list is that they are fairly easy to clear out quickly. And they're already in as 0 and missing anyway, so any score that you get on missing quizzes and tests will actually help your overall grade in the class. Let's make sure we're knocking those out this week. There's really no excuse to leave a quiz or a test as missing. Number 3, have you submitted any assignments labeled as missing? The most important of those assignments that might be labeled as missing is the Black History essay. It is difficult to get a high grade in this class without that in, so I would say that that's next most important. See if there's any other assignments labeled as missing, especially if you're missing your Black History essay. That's got to get in by the end of this week. Another idea, have you revised your Black History essay and uploaded it to Black History Essay Revisions? Although you're not required to revise your Black History essay, for many of you, it's a way to raise your overall grade in the class, at least by a couple of percentage points. Just as a reminder, you can see my comments on your Black History essay by clicking on it in your Schoology gradebook, and then you can make any changes you like in Word Online. The way to turn in Black History essay revisions, as I go there real quick. Let's go back to our course materials real quick here. As a reminder, there's a submission spot right here under upcoming, just Friday, May 28th, Black History Essay Revisions. You can resubmit your Black History essay to Schoology right there. Revisions are one of the last things I'll be looking at this semester as I calculate final grades. And then lastly, have you documented any extra credit independent reading or completed any levels in our extra credit game? Extra credit really, at this point in the semester, can only reliably bring you up maybe a couple of percentage points, so it's last on our checklist right here. But if you are maybe at maybe a grade line, maybe you've got a C+ and you're really gunning for a B- or a B, doing some extra credit might be a great way to reliably get you up to that letter grade right there. So that's kind of the last idea on our checklist. As far as independent reading goes, if you're in person, you can document that with me in class this week. Otherwise, you'll need to hit me up in Microsoft Teams to let me know what you have read. Our extra credit game is just available in Schoology in the course materials folder. Lastly, let's talk about our final writing activity a little bit right here. I actually need to adjust this. Give me a moment. It's not due Tuesday, May 25th. It's now due on Wednesday, May 26th. That should be fine. I should note, if you're an in-person learner and you're doing this on paper, you'll still want to get it in during class on Tuesday the 25th, but you'll have a nice full class period to work on it there. As far as getting extra credit goes on your final writing activity, I'd like to remind you that the presentation component has been moved to an extra credit opportunity. One such way is to record yourself doing this. I wanted to open this up just in case I do miss some class time this week. It says one way to present your final writing activity is to make a video recording of yourself. Feel free to make a short video presentation. I'm not expecting really anything longer than like a minute and a half, maybe 30 seconds to a minute and a half, something like that. You can present one or two of your final writing activity paragraphs and upload the video here. I should note your classmates are able to see what you share here, so it'd be like doing it in class. For my in-person learners, you can also do this, simply present in class when I see you during our final class period. If you're a virtual learner, you can also present during our last Teams meeting, which I've scheduled for our normal time this Tuesday. So once again, you can upload it right here, or you can simply present in class this week. Really, the last thing I want to talk about in this lesson video is what this week looks like by each day. Let me pull up a calendar right here. I don't know if you can see this super well, but we're looking at our calendar right here. Today is May 24th, obviously. So the 25th, 26th are final periods. If I'm here, I'm here. It allows us to use those final periods for me to help you finish the semester strong according to our checklist. All of my applied English classes are on Tuesday. So virtual classes, we've got virtual Teams meetings set up at the normal time. For my in-person class, I got you right after lunch as per usual. We'll use that full period to get some good work done. On Wednesday, I've got all of my writing workshop classes, so I really want to focus on my upperclassmen then. Although I will be available before and after school, really every day this week. Thursday and Friday are slotted as extra help days. Again, if I'm here, I'm here. If I'm not, there's really nothing I can do with those extra help days besides just try to be available online for helping you finish the semester. I'll see maybe if I can get Saturday as an extra help day if I am missing on Thursday, Friday, but I can't make a guarantee there. What I'd like to do with extra help days if I'm in the building is using Thursday for my upperclassmen, just focusing on writing workshop and helping them finish the semester strong. I would help my freshmen on Friday. What you can expect from me today is I will let you know today, really this afternoon, if you should expect to come in on Friday for extra help. That would just be the case if you are failing the semester as of this afternoon, as I'm checking grade books once again. So work through our checklist this morning, do what you can. I will let you know at some point today if you should expect to come in on Friday to get some extra help from me. So what I would say is best of luck today. Again, work through our checklist to make sure that you're finishing this semester strong. I'm going to try to be available in Microsoft Teams this afternoon to answer any questions that you may have, just based on the work that you're doing for me. Again, if you'd like to present a couple of your final writing paragraphs for extra credit, you can absolutely start working on that today, although you can absolutely do it in class tomorrow as well. Let's finish off this semester strong. Praying for y'all.